good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back for another amazing episode of the Cashflow Asian Show. I'm super excited for today's episode because I get to talk with Tessa Flight. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Hey, Tessa. I actually kind of know you already because of your social media influence. You know that? Or no?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I was like browsing around on Instagram because I tried to get some idea for my video, and then your videos keep popping up, right? I was like, who is this beautiful young lady that make really good video? That was like, oh man, I want to meet her. So it's just the power of of manifestation, and eventually, we have a chance to work with each other. So super excited to be able to connect with you today, and actually get to know more about you since you are one of the new team member in my group. I don't have a chance to get to know you that much yet.
Yeah, I'm excited to be on here. It's crazy small world. I mean, I guess that means my social media is working. I'm getting in front of other agents, other buyers, other sellers, but
Yep.
mostly in the real estate community.
Yep. Everybody. Okay, well, so let's go ahead and dive in. So Tessa, I'm always curious, how did you get into real estate? Like out of all the career out there, I know that you have many options to pick. Why did you end up choosing real estate?
So, I mean, the seed was planted a while back with a lot of people telling me that you should sell real estate, that you would be really good at it. At that time, I didn't really take it seriously. I kind of just brushed it off. And then when I met my husband, he really pushed me to do it. He said it again.
Ah,
He's like, yeah, you should get licensed. You would be great at it. You should just do it. And when I was, still dating him, he was like, I will pay for your real estate license pre-licensing course.
wow. So you have a sponsor.
Whatever, I'll do it, I guess. So that's how it got started. And he was the one who really pushed me to get licensed. So yeah.
No, that is amazing, and I keep mentioning regarding the importance of spouse support in this business. So it seems like that you have a really good spouse support, which is super important. When conducting a real estate business, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes our schedule go all over the place, and it's just I really appreciating all the spouse out there that have their partner doing real estate, right? You guys are doing an amazing job of supporting them. So kudos to that.
Yeah. And I think people who are fortunate enough to be in a situation where you do have a partner with a stable income, the pressure is not as big, in terms of, oh, I need to make a sale or I don't
Yeah.
this month or something, right? I didn't have the pressure of making a sale. I was wanting to get into it and learn, and whatever came my way, I,
Yeah,
thought. Yeah.
that was amazing. Yeah, so just like how me, I racked Jenny into real estate. So it seems like you have a very similar story there of your husband motivating you to get into real estate. But before that, do you what do you study, or do you have like any like career period of real estate? Because I see in your profile that you are you still an active like a professional model and an actor?
So I still do it. I'm not
Oh wow,
too
amazing.
active in it anymore just because I kind of really dedicate a lot more time to real estate than acting and modeling. That was something that I did prior to real estate, and I still make some time for that. And now it's more of a hobby more than an income stream. Uh, and before, I did pursue it fairly seriously. But now I feel like real estate has taken up all my time. So I do it for fun now.
Oh wow, that is amazing. I'm always curious about the actor and kind of like the modeling industry. I recently heard a podcast regarding like Grant Cardone and the he used to be the mayor of California. I think Arnold.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have they have this amazing conversation about how real estate business and the actor model, they actually all kind of interrelated, right? It's just a mindset, how you set yourself as a superstar, as the hero in the movie. It's the same thing that we're trying to do here in our real estate business.
Yeah. There's a lot of skills that translates to real estate from acting for sure. I mean, when I'm talking in front of the camera, when I'm conducting a listing appointment, buyer consultation, all of that, you know, I'm not saying I'm acting, but just speaking comfortably in front of people, in front of the camera, making listing videos, all of that translates. Making content for social media, you know, that's a soft skill. Well, it's not a soft skill, but it's an actual skill that you learn with over time, you know, through on-camera training that I can utilize from a real estate career. So that has helped me a lot. I get a lot of compliments from other agents. Oh my gosh, you're such a natural on camera, but no, that's not natural. That's years
Practice.
of training, right? Training and practice, you know, practice makes perfect. I'm not saying you have to be an actor to be good on camera. You just have to practice. So
Wow, wow, wow. And you bring up a really good point, Tessa. This is what I train. I tell everybody in the group, right? Lean into what you know already, right? I don't have an acting career, just like but I'm a computer science guy. I'm really good with number, right? So I lean into that, right? And eventually you're gonna find your niche in real estate whenever, if that's working with investor or something that would related to your background, right? So if you used to serve the military, you can go forward and lean into into the military network. So whatever you have in your previous career, lean into that, because real estate is related to everything we do in life, right? And Tessa, thank you so much for sharing that story, right? It just shows that you're able to lean into your previous career instead of starting fresh and starting everything brand new, which I actually don't recommend people to do, right?
yeah,
What you know.
yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of not just acting, but like other types of jobs that prepped me to be a successful agent in customer service. Like I was a waiter, I was a cocktail waitress. So, you know, the customer service aspect of it, I,
Wow.
took that. And then I was in insurance sales for a few years. So, I mean, I learned the work ethic of what it meant to hustle to get
I
sales,
know.
right? So like all of those things comes into running a successful real estate business, not just being good on camera.
I
Um,
see.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, so just to kind of dive into that, your first year of real estate, do you remember what kind of challenge that you run into, and how do you overcome that? Because a lot of people right now, for example, I just get out, from the school, the Champion School of Real Estate. There are so many new faces. They try to get started in their real estate business. They're gonna they're gonna run into the same challenge that you and me run into, right, in their first year of real estate. So if you can recall, some of the challenges that you run into in your first few years of real estate, and how do you overcome that? If you can share that with the audience.
Yeah, I think, I mean, everybody's first year is going to be hard. First of all, you don't have experience, you don't have expertise. All of your friends and family don't trust you. And, you know, oh, that's my cat.
Bring him
Uh,
over. Bring him over.
but there's all like I got lucky in ways to where my friends, some did trust me, some did give me their business, even though they know I just got my license.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
they see me out there being proactive and getting their business and showing that I really want it. And that's how I got my first listing with a friend. He trusted me to list his house.
Yeah.
And just getting the word out there with your sphere of influence that, hey, I'm in the business now, please give me a chance, and I will not disappoint you. That message, I think if you have a good reputation within your sphere, people will take that leap of faith to do business with you, even though they know that you're brand new and have no experience. Of course, when I got in the business, not too long after COVID happened and the lockdown and all the uncertainty and everything, that was, a bit of a slowdown in my business for that first year because of COVID. But then, soon after the lockdown eased up and
Hmm.
business went back to normal, it started ramping up again. So, um, I think the first year is really about just learning the ropes and getting your name out there, letting your sphere of influence know what you're doing now, and showing people that you are working every day towards your goals. And I think when people see that you are working hard every day, you're active, they're going to think of you when they need real estate services.
Yeah. So you bring up a really good point. So your first client, your first business is actually not coming from social media. It's actually coming from your sphere of influence. Is that right?
Yeah, sphere of
Yeah.
influence. I mean, I definitely put it on social media to let my sphere of influence know that,
Mm,
hey, I am now in real estate, and please let me know if you need any real estate services. That message is out there, but then um, you
actually,
know,
the people that know you and trust you, right? That then
exactly.
gonna become, your first few client. And so
Yeah.
I guess we have a similar starting point then, because when I actually started, I don't know anybody, right? But hey, I know the people that I work with in Schlumberger. I know that the people I work with in Hewlett Packard. I know the people I went to school with, right? These are the people that know me, trust me, and we spend a tremendous amount of time, like a couple years, working together, right? They know how they know how I work. I know how they work, so we pair together really well. And I honestly lean on those friends and family for the first couple of years in real estate, because I know nobody. No, I didn't know anybody, right? And social media is not my strength. So it's really impressive to see that such a rock star in social media, like you, actually get started, just by the sphere of influence, right? Just by people that you trust.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still, that is a huge part of my business even
Mm,
today. I think people do assume that I get all of my clients from social media, like these just people that I don't really know in real life, and that
uh,
happens too. But honestly, majority of my business still comes from my warm market.
yeah.
That's my sphere, that's my clients. So yeah, and that's a great market to be in because people already know you and trust you.
As- a- Absolutely, you are the local superstar over there, right? Um, if you remember, like I messed up so many things on my first year. Could you tell a story about like one of the absolutely like horror story that happened in your first few years, that like, hey, I just want to hang my license, I want to get to my car, and then I'm gonna drive away to the sunset. I never gonna touch real estate again. You have the story that you would like to share with the audience?
Oh man. Well, I can't think of anything on top of my head. There was not any major mishaps in my first year that I can think of in terms of where I think I've really, really messed up. But I mean, I always think back to like my first year where I could have done better. I could have been a better negotiator for my seller. When that inspection report came back and they wanted this credit, even though, you know, maybe the seller wouldn't need to give that much credit. I mean, at that time, I was not as good of a negotiator and a dissector of inspection reports
I
as
see.
I am now. Now I look at the inspection report and what the buyer's agent is asking for and what the buyer's asking for, I immediately know that number is bogus and be like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Versus a new agent, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I guess we can give them what they're asking for. And then, now I'm just
Yep.
like, oh yeah, I could have saved seller, that money of what they're asking for repairs. Just stuff like that. I mean, nothing really major that I can think of. I guess
Yeah.
I've always been pretty
Prepare.
diligent and lucky
Yeah.
in like, making sure I don't mess up in that way. But
Yeah.
now there is an instance where I did forget to provide the survey on time, and that the responsibility fell upon the sellers to pay for
Mm,
the survey when they had the existing survey.
that's a good one.
But I took the responsibility of not turning that in on time, and I paid for it for the
Yeah.
sellers.
That's awesome. It reminds me one of my deal, when we negotiate the repair, and then I didn't know any better. I actually send the amendment with the credit and the repair amendment. I'm the listing agent, and I send it to the buyer lender. Oh my God, that thing turned into a nightmare. Like after all the appraisal, they require the appraisal actually go there and require all the little repair that I put on the amendment to be fixed. So that was a rookie mistake that I made.
Oh, like so if the buyer's lender doesn't get it,
And then
then
no
they're
problem.
not going to check, right? They're not going to require
Yeah,
the receipts and everything.
exactly. And then I have this long list of repair, and I send it to the buyer lender. Oh my God, everybody got so mad at me. It's like, "Wee, what have you done?"
Oh no, yeah, that's something to
Yeah,
keep in mind for
and
sure. Thanks
since
for the refresher.
yep. And since I see in your background that you do luxury, I can tell you that one of my first, ever luxury listing, I was so excited. I thought the buyer is gonna be so nice, the seller is gonna be so nice, right? Everybody is so rich, right? They must be nice. Turn out that is like one of the worst deal that I ever made, right? I have to negotiate everything from the doorknob, to the ceiling fan, to the rep, because everybody want to take it away instead of leaving it.
Mhm.
That deal make me like kind of want to drive away from real estate forever, because I could not imagine like these two millionaire try to argue over a $50 doorknob. That was just absolutely not.
Oh no, yeah, man, I guess every sector is different. That's
Yep.
crazy. It gets it gets really tricky when they want to nickel and dime down to, you
Oh
know,
man, it's
the light
crazy. Yep.
furnitures and everything. But yeah, I mean, I've had great experiences so far with my luxury clients. And again, I've been lucky. And they've been really, really easy to work with. And it's been a piece of cake, for my luxury buyers and sellers. So I think, a knock on wood, hopefully I get more of those.
Yeah, but yeah, my was like, man, they go all the way down to the smart lock at the front of the door, and that's what I have to negotiate on this $5 million house. I cannot
No,
believe it.
no.
But moving on, yeah, so seem like so moving on now, real estate is, landscape is obviously a lot different now this year compared to even 2 years ago. And obviously that you grow so much, from I honestly didn't know that you are actually like only 3-4 years into the business, right, since COVID.
Well, no, actually, I will be soon. I'm currently at 4 years.
Yeah.
Um, Soon I will be in my fifth year.
Wow, that is amazing. But yeah, still fairly new. I thought that you do, with your present and what what I thought that you in the business since forever, just like me. I bought my first house when I was 20 years old, so I assumed that everybody was like 20 years into the business already.
Yeah, I wish if I would have known what I know now, I would have got licensed right at 18 and start doing the business right then and there. But
Yeah,
then I also, think that all the experience I have with my other jobs and career path really helped me, having the skills I need now to run a successful business. So, yeah.
yeah. So follow with now. We have so many change. With our industry right now. What is the number one challenge that you see in the brokers industry today? What is experienced agents like you is facing today, and how are you solving these challenges? So any current challenge that you're solving that you don't mind sharing with the audience?
Challenges. I mean, I think, the market condition is always a challenge. Sometimes that's something that we can't do anything about. The higher rates, the higher cost, the affordability issue that
Mm,
consumers are facing. We can't change that at the moment, but I think we can provide education to the consumers sometimes to overcome that objection of high rates.
yeah,
Uh, and I think this industry is always, people are always going to think of ways to try to revolutionize this industry, maybe to push the role of the agent out.
yeah,
But I feel like, the human element of it is never going to get replaced by AI or by technology and whatnot. So that's always something that we're faced with, thinking about possibly getting replaced by technology, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. And I think right now, just with all of the lawsuits that's happening, an agent's role is to add value in whatever way you can that's beyond, what all these companies are trying to come after,
Yeah.
which is to replace you.
Yeah.
And, and that way, when you add so much value to the consumer, of course they're going to want to use you. Of course they don't mind paying you what you are worth. So
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about the change, because the one that actually just push paper around and take order, those is gonna be those is gonna be the one facing the challenge. But I know that you're a problem solver. You always solving problem for people, solving problem for buyer, for seller. Same with me. It's a problem solver that actually gonna get paid more.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
If talking about on the solving problem, like could you do you recall like any difficult situation that the transaction you in, and how you're able to like kind of solve it out and then get everybody to the closing table?
Yeah, I think that one time I was a listing agent, this willing buyer was wanting to make an offer on my property, and she ended up being told that she can't qualify for the loan because it's in the flood zone and she needs to get flood insurance, and
Yep.
that would kick her outside of her DTI requirements to get the loan.
Hmm.
And so she was going to get denied for financing. So, but I didn't take no for an answer at that time. Really, I started calling all the insurance agents I know all around town to see if I am able to help her get a flood insurance policy that would stay under her DTI amount. And I was able to accomplish that, even though that is really not my job as the listing agent to do, right? So, I mean, I don't really mind doing that because I want to get that house sold. I want to be able to get that sale through if I can help it. So, yeah, I think it's just being resourceful and finding out who can help you in whatever problem that you have, and seek out those people if you can't figure it out yourself.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Yeah, just like the deal that I'm working on right now, right? The buyer from out of state, they actually have a contingency, like, hey, I have to sell my house in order to buy something here, especially in Katy. And with that contingency, it's impossible to get an offer accepted in Katy because of multiple offer. So
Yes.
I was able to working with the seller, working with a different lender, a local lender of mine, and we solving that issue and kind of separate the two things out. So that way the buyer can make an offer, without a contingency, and that's the only way we can get an offer in Katy. Otherwise, it's just that. Yeah. So problem solving, love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just knowing all the tools and resources that you have in your toolbox, basically to help the buyer solve those issues. I had something similar too, where the buyer needs to sell before they can buy, but then I was able to find a vendor that can help the buyer make an offer without the contingency. So
There
yeah,
you
that
go.
always helps.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, so the number one question that on the audience mind right now, what is your favorite way to generate lead right now, and how can you is there a way that you can teach other people to do the same?
So yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm not a huge open house person. I don't really host those regularly to get buyer leads, even though I should. I feel like I would prefer to focus my energy and efforts on just making content on social media,
Mhm.
because that's what I'm good at and what I enjoy doing. And I feel like that is probably the best bang for a buck in terms of
Mm,
marketing, lead generating. I really just focus on making content and putting it out there and making sure I'm active and stay top of mind with my sphere. Really, that's how I do lead generating for my business.
I'm so surprised with your reach, because like I say, like I told you in the beginning, like I don't even know you back then, but you somehow just keep popping up on my feed for whatever reason, right? And then like the moment you watch it and it's interesting, and by the way, your video are so interesting, it's so informative, it gave me ton of video, a ton of value. And then the moment I kind of like it, and then your feed just keep popping up more, and yeah, it's just amazing how your reach can go out.
Yeah, I'm very happy to hear that. Like I
Yeah.
was surprised to hear that you knew me um, before. So
So
yeah.
so so if I'm a brand new agent right now and I have to pick like a platform to start, what platform would you recommend that I anchor in?
I suggest picking the platform that you have the most audience to start, whether that's Facebook or Instagram or X. I mean, I think most people, wherever they have most of their sphere on right now, is what they should focus on, and then simultaneously build the other channels. Because your sphere, wherever they are active and interacting with you, that's the platform you should focus on. So whichever that could be. For me, when I started, it was Instagram and Facebook.
I see.
And really, right now, I still focus heavily on both of those platforms. And sometimes I will dive into LinkedIn and TikTok and other platforms that I'm not as active in, but I still try to keep some presence in. So I think double down on wherever your audience is at.
I see. So you have to go where the audience is, not where you want to be.
Right, exactly. Wherever your audience is, whether it's your warm market, your sphere, or you just maybe have a bunch of random followers on Instagram, it's just wherever your audience is at.
What are some tips to make the content engaging? So let's say for me, I'm not very funny on the video, right? My Some of the lenders, some of the real estate agent, they are so funny on the video. I like watching their video so much, but when it comes to me, it's very hard for me to like make it look funny on the video. I'm just not built for that. So how should I kind of compete against that? If you don't mind sharing.
I mean, for me, I kind of just be myself, I think when you're authentic, you be yourself. I don't try to be funny like some people. I don't know. I think I'm funny sometimes, but not always. But it's hard to kind of just switch it on and switch it off for a camera for
Yeah.
me. Like I'm mostly just being myself, and it's not really an act whenever I get on camera to shoot content. I'm just talking to people like how I would normally talk to my friends and
Hmm.
family. And really, I think that's just the way to be, because I cannot be you and you cannot be me, right? So, and of course, you can always copy the ideas from other creators. That's fine. Make it your own. But I think in the end, you just be yourself, and whoever your tribe is will follow you.
Yeah. And how do you like come up with different topic? Because you have a variety of topic, which I really enjoy. And then when it comes to actually like me or like a new agent try to do content, we ran out of video topic after like 5 or 6 of video, and we're like, okay, what we're gonna talk about now? We ran out of topic.
That's something I think everybody is facing, is that you constantly have to think of things to talk about. And that's something for me too, like I'm trying to think of video topics for my next batch of videos that I want to do. And it's coming up with those ideas is the hard part. For me, executing on camera, easy, but coming up with the topics to talk about,
Yeah.
that's the part that takes the longest. That's the part that takes the most planning. And I just sit down and kind of jot down my ideas of what I want to talk about that I think would be of value to people, and I brainstorm on that myself. I mean, you can always use AI to help. Of course, a lot of people use ChatGPT now, right? That's something that's super easy. And yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's really awesome. Do you edit your own video, or do you have like a team or professional team now that do the edit for everything?
So I have a videography team that shoots and edit my videos. I
Oh
don't do
wow.
any of it
That's why the
myself.
quality is so good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the one thing that I spend my marketing money on, is paying a professional videographer to shoot and edit. They have all the equipment of the cameras, microphones, lighting, all of that, the shoot location, everything matters. I want a high production value for my videos. And I'm not saying you have to spend that money if you're a new agent and you don't have a lot of marketing funds to start with. You can always do it yourself to begin with. And of course, whenever you do start making money in this business, you can allot, 30% of what you make back into your business to market your business. I mean, right now, I can afford, you know, a videography team to do everything for me. And that's what I spend all my money on. So
Well, that's a really good metric. So about 20 and 30% of your profit, go back into reinvesting in your business.
yeah, and like everybody, you know, has a different number. Of course, with marketing is, you know, the more you spend, the more exposure you get, the more marketing you get. So just depending on what you can afford and uh, how much you want to reinvest back into the business. I mean, for some people, maybe they're not relied on their income to put food on the table and pay bills. Maybe they can invest all of the profits back into the business, just depending on what you want to do, right? So.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that, everybody struggle with content. I thought you just come up with content naturally and then just speak in front of the camera.
Oh, no way. I wish. I wish I was like just having unlimited amount of ideas. No, I hit that bottleneck too. I don't know what to talk about.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, that's actually, very, very inspiring, right? Because I always feel like, like especially new agents, like, man, I cannot, be like Tessa. Tessa have everything figured out. But look, she doesn't, right? She struggle, and we always have our own struggle in the business, and we just have to keep it forward and draw the tennis ball forward, back and
Yeah,
forth, back and forth.
exactly.
Yeah. Mm. So what's your plan for the next 5 years? How would you kind of describe the new Tesla in 5 years later on? What would you be?
I think in 5 years, I would love to, you know, have a business that I might not need to be active in producing anymore. I would love to have some, I guess, passive income in terms of either real estate investments and also a team that is able to produce without me actively participating and maybe just more of a guidance
Mhm.
and orchestration role. Um, I think just having more time to myself would be what I would love for my goals for my 5 year goal.
Okay, well, that's awesome. And I tell you what, Tessa, you have all the resource and you have all the support here to help you achieve those goals. So make sure you hit me on it, you hit Tao on it. We kind of been there, done that already, and you can learn from my mistake, right? One thing that I guess I did, because I'm not very careful like you. I fail so much and I make so many mistakes. So you can learn that from me, from my mistake, so you don't make the same mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. That's awesome. All right. So we're getting near the end of the segment. I'm gonna ask you. Is anything else I forget to ask you, Tessa?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. I think
Okay. All right then. Well, so I'm gonna ask you two more questions. One is gonna be super easy question. You can just answer it, and then one is gonna be a little harder. So maybe think about it a little bit before you give out the answer. So easy question. What is Tessa do for fun?
travel.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah, that's probably my number one. I love to do snowboarding. I dive.
No
Uh,
way.
I I'm pretty much into a little bit of everything. I love music. I love going to concerts. I love to eat. I'm a huge foodie.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I love just exploring a new city. I think that's a lot of fun when I'm traveling. Um,
Hey,
yeah, I'm
let
pretty
me
much.
ask you this. Is there like a secret tunnel in the Houston Bush Airport for all the celebrity?
I don't know. Is that what the rumor is? That like there's a tunnel? Like
I don't know. There's like a secret terminal that I see somebody post something that you can go in there and get special treatment. You get to fly out.
oh yeah, that I posted. Yes, yeah. It's the
So what is
it's
that? What is
actually
that?
a special status with United. If you are a global services level,
Oh
there
wow!
is
So
a
that's even
secret
more than diamond.
that's more than 1K.
That's more than 1K. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
yeah, it's invite only, and yeah, I mean, if you fly enough with them, you get the global services um, level, and they have a secret terminal for you to bypass the crowd.
Oh way! All right, okay. Well, let me book more ticket to go to Vietnam and work my way on that. Work my way on that. Any tip on that? Any tip on getting that status?
Oh, you just had to fly a ton with
Oh
United.
wow.
You probably like you would have to fly multiple business class international legs with United. I'm not even sure if that number is 5. It might be more than that. It could be 10. So you imagine the amount of money you spend with them, right? So
Oh man, okay. Or you can just know Tessa, know a friend like Tessa, and maybe she can hook you up. She's gonna leave you. She's gonna leave with everybody her number and her contact later on. All right. Her question, Tessa, do you have kids? Oh no.
I don't.
Absolutely. Okay. Also, let's say 5 years later, you're gonna have kid, and I know that I love your 5 years goal, by the way, right? To be able to build a business, to have a large amount of revenue share coming in, a large amount of real estate investment. But if for whatever reason you cannot leave any of your wealth to your children, and you can leave them only one or two advice, for them to kind of get them going, what would be that one or two advice is?
Uh, so I mean, I always believe to go with your gut and do what you love. I'm not your typical Asian parent of like, oh, you gotta go pursue something like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. I wish I would have listened to my own advice when I was younger. But I was always in that mindset of, oh, I need to be going the traditional path, of being great at academics, instead of pursuing what I really wanted to do. So, like maybe this is not the traditional advice that you would hear that you would tell to your children, but is really go with what you feel in your heart that you want to do. Don't try to do what pleases other people. Really, in the end, you're going to look back on your deathbed and like regret something that you didn't do because you did what your parents wanted to do. No, like you don't want to do that. So yeah, I mean, I think in the end, I value being happy than over being, that, oh, I have stability, but I'm not happy, so yeah.
Wow, wow, that is so good. Thank you, Tessa, for sharing that. So, if everybody here listen to the show, they want to follow you, Tessa. How can they follow you, and how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so my Instagram handle is Tessa Flight, my name,
Mm-hmm.
underscore realtor. So super easy. Tessa Flight underscore realtor. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I have a Tessa Flight realtor Facebook page. I'm able to be contacted on all 3 of those platforms. I check my DMs. So
That's awesome. Okay, well, I will make sure to put that in the show note, so that way, if you want to learn more about Tessa Fight, a chance to partner with her, right? We do partnership here at Real Estate. Just go ahead and reach out to her directly, and I would think that Tessa will add a tremendous value of amount of value into your business. So Tessa, thank you so much for coming on to the show today. I think the content, the way you share your story is so authentic, and I'm very grateful to be in business with you. We have a lot
thank
more.
you. Likewise. And I am excited to, see this podcast or
Yep.
whatnot recorded and being able to share my story. Thanks for having me on the show and to many more.
All right. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.